I know these videos are amateurish, frankly. I pride myself on the fact that this is not a professional operation, and hopefully maybe someday we'll be a little more professional. And I am a little bit of a twitchy mess, as you know, and I have some speech problems, as obvious. That's part of my neurological issues, and part of the reason I'm doing this is so I don't just sit there and feel sorry for myself. I have information I'd like to share with other people, yourselves, of course, and hopefully you will share some information back with me, and I will pass it on to whoever might be watching this. Today's disjointed ramble is going to be about getting up and out. I am a practitioner of getting up and out every day. I'm having some health issues now, and even now I am up and out every day. I've been stopped from driving for a couple of days because of some of my issues, but I still get out and walk around and just get out of the apartment, because I feel that is one of the most beneficial things you can do, is to not just sit there, stagnate, and feel sorry for yourself. As I said in my earlier videos, I have clinical depression myself. I know how hard it is to motivate yourself when you don't feel like it. But I also know that it's not going to get any better if you just sit there and vegetate or feel sorry for yourself. You have to get out and do something. On CNN recently, they had results of a survey, and this is nothing political, so it's just the results of a medical survey that shows the people that are likely to get dementia or Alzheimer's can counteract it to a very large extent, or a noticeable extent, by being active, getting some exercise, getting some fresh air, interacting with people. In other words, being a participant in the world, just like you used to be when you were younger, only you're not younger. So maybe over the years, for whatever the reason, you've gravitated towards being more introverted, less active outside, less exercising and stuff. I am in relatively decent shape, and I can't do a fraction of the amount of sit-ups I used to, or push-ups, whatever the case may be. So I know how hard it is from personal experience to stay in good physical shape. If I can, I occasionally try to go to a batting cage or something. I don't hit particularly well, but I find that it keeps my mind engaged. I find that it also is good for me exercise, and it's something that I used to enjoy all the time. I played softball, I played high school ball, I played all kind of baseball-related activities, or softball, and I enjoyed it. I was not particularly good at it. It was just something I did that I enjoyed. And today I find there's not enough stuff that I do that I enjoy. I would encourage you to find stuff to do that you enjoy doing. Maybe stuff you used to do that you just forgot about, more or less, over the years. So I do try to stay engaged. I definitely get out of the house every day. I've made the joke before that I'm not going to make any money in bed, and you can take that any way you want it. I don't have a sex partner at the moment. I wouldn't like to have one again. I don't know how well I would do. I don't think I did that great when I was younger, but again, it's supposedly very good for you physically and cardiac-wise to have for sexual activity. I assume you don't die in the middle of it. If you die in the middle of it, then it's probably not too particularly good. Getting on to other things. I have noticed that a lot of the folks of our age have a lot of smart devices. Smartphones, Amazon, Alexa, Ring doorbells, all of this other stuff. I want to warn you about these things. They are convenient, yes. They make your life a little bit simpler, yes. But there is a price to pay. You are giving up your privacy almost completely. Every one of these things, especially the phones that are in our hands, that we're looking at all day long, with all the apps and everything else, they're to do two purposes. One, sell you something, make it easier for you to buy something. And the other purpose is they're siphoning your information, your personal information. Excuse me, I got a nose itch today I can't understand. Believe me, I wish it was from something interesting. Anyway, they are siphoning your information. I have mentioned this to my friends and people I know in the medical community, and they say, well, that's the way it is. They don't understand how much information they're siphoning. For instance, you have Alexa in your house, or Amazon, whatever, and you'll be sitting there with somebody and you're looking at the TV, and you're saying, this TV, the picture isn't so sharp anymore, and we got to start thinking about getting another one. And the next day, almost inevitably, you're going to see on all of your devices ads for TVs. They basically heard your conversation. The app heard it, siphoned it downstream to the data brokers that are mining this information and monetizing it so they can sell you more stuff. I don't like that at all. I figure if you want my information, you come to me and you say to me, hey Stan, would you like to give us some of your information? I do want to make sure that you understand that when I talk about security and stuff like that, I just want to make one extra point when it comes to phones especially. You walk into Verizon or Cricket or Motorola, Metro or whoever, they are selling you a device. They are selling you a phone. Now, a lot of them don't call it a contract anymore, but they're going to give you a free phone that's really worth some money, obviously. And as long as you stay on service with them, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100, however much you're paying a month, you can use the phone that they gave you. Of course, if you violate your contract by turning off the service, they want their money. So it really wasn't free after all. So you understand that. What gets me, and let me take this to a little different level. If you walk into the Apple store in the mall and you say, I want to buy a phone, they'll sell you a phone that's not attached to any particular carrier. You can choose whatever carrier you want. It's called unlocked. Now, you're using the Apple phone, whether it be in the first situation, like I said, or you buy in an unlocked one and put it on whatever carrier you want, any place in the world. You paid for the phone, right? Somehow you paid for the phone, but yet they control what you see on it. They control the background siphoning of the information. They control if you let them update it automatically, and you have no idea what they're putting in their software updates. They'll say it's security or enhanced features. You have no idea what they are. A lot of times it's just other ways of them monitoring your existence. Why do I want to give you money to control my life? You want to give me the phone for free, totally free, and I can do whatever I want with it? Okay, it was a gift. I can't really question the gift. But if I'm paying you $1,000 or $1,200 or something like that, and you're controlling what I'm seeing, I have a real problem with that. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. As an alternative, there are things now called flip phones, just like we used to have years and years ago, that are very simple functional phones. They're called feature phones nowadays. And they have a couple of apps on them, and you still have to hook them up to a service. Now you can buy them unlocked, which means you put it on any carrier you want, or you can buy them with AT&T or Cricket or Verizon or anybody. They all have them. These phones are not a lot of the same features of a smartphone, so there's less monitoring going on in the background. There's also less useful apps on it that you can use because they don't feature apps as much. They'll have one or two ones where you can do text and you can do phone calls, of course, and probably do Google Maps or something like that. So there's still some apps on it and maybe even a web browser. But you're paying $40 or $50 for the phone as opposed to $1,000 or $1,200 for the phone. And it can control your life a little bit less. I want you to know that these exist and they do serve a purpose because they're usually a lot less frustrating to use. If you lose it, it's not $1,000. If you drop it, it's not $1,000. You get another one for another $50. It's an alternative that's out there, and I wanted you to know about it. I do appreciate you taking a look at today's video. I hope you got something out of it. I know I'm a little bit of a twitchy and itchy mess. I have no idea. The twitching I know about, of course, because that's my neurological package. But I hope you got something out of it. Of course, I have to do the commercial where it says, please give me a thumbs up, a like, and a subscribe. Share with somebody. Maybe if it's these videos on for your particular age category, but you have older relatives, friends, whatever the case may be, please share it with them. They might find it useful. Maybe it's not as useful as you need it to be, but maybe they would find it useful. So I would appreciate if you would do that. Of course, let me remind you, I am open to comments as long as they are done respectfully. I will respond to any emails or any comments on the YouTube site itself where I am. And I am always willing and anxious to read them. So please, feel free. I hope you'll come back, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a good day, folks. Thank you.